So let's talk about planning now.
Yeah, sure.
What is important when it comes to planning online workshops, and what's different from planning the regular ones?
Yeah. I think like through a few online workshops I've done, like we realized that people get bored so easily. Everyone gets bored, especially online because we have less channels. So we really have to think of ideas like how to engage people all the time and control their focus. Yeah, thanks. And I think the key is to switch lecture and work quickly. So you don't want to give a hour long lecture and like people get very sleepy then. So we switch like 10 minutes or 20 minutes it's a very short time. And yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. And
And and
yeah,
what was
keep
the
people
time again?
busy.
So what's your is it like
20
keeping
minutes?
lectures
Yeah.
shorter?
As short as possible. Maybe like 20 minutes.
Okay. And is it like a rule of 20 minutes, like 20 minutes for lecture, 20 minutes for work?
Yeah, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, this way people can stay busy and feel more engaged, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
so they don't fall asleep next to their computers, right?
Yeah,
Okay. And then like,
exactly.
nice.
Awake.
But that's interesting because there is a book called Training from the Back of the Room, and that was written based on the experience from running the real life trainings, not the online ones, far before the coronavirus times. And in that book, it's said that you should keep it really short, like 10-minute sections to switch between the activities so that people cannot get into this hibernation phase, right? So maybe we just ignored that recommendation we knew long before, but now working online, we cannot ignore it anymore, right?
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that the almost I think almost all the tips for online workshops, I think they are useful for real workshops as well. Yes.
And and that's a good one. That's a very good one. Keep it short, and it is connected with the previous one where we said that you need to create the participatory environment so that it's not only you who is doing stuff. And well, any other ideas how to engage with the participants, for example, during a lecture time? Is there any way they could do on top of just listening to you lecturing them? How can you engage them even more?
Uh, we've tried something like uh, asking like one person of the group presenting his or her idea, and while the presentation, other people are not only sitting and listening, but we ask them to pick up some keywords that they think are important from the presentation of other one. So in this way, we kept everyone busy. Like listeners, they're not only listening, they also have to be active listening and picking up some keywords and sharing with others. And the speaker can also get the feedback from the listeners. I think that was interesting. Yeah.
And And how do you present those keywords in the end,
Yeah,
or
it
is it just
was,
like,
yeah, we used like a Google spreadsheet, the Excel only version, and we listed up all the keywords on the cells so everyone can see each other's.
okay, okay, I have an idea for you. I will definitely try to use this one here. I like it. And technologically, you could do that better because you could use something like mentimeter.com. Do you know that tool?
Men, Menti.
Mentimeter.com.
No, I don't know.
Basically, you can create a kind of a collection point, and people will start typing the keywords there. And in the end of the session, it will generate a word cloud. So, for example,
Nice.
if several people spotted the same word, it will be bigger in size. And the size of the words in that
I
word cloud
see. Yeah,
will
yeah.
be in, yeah, just an idea. And they don't
That's
have to
nice.
use a spreadsheet for that. So they
Yeah,
will
it's more
just
visual. Yeah, that sounds good.
they will submit the words into the tool, and then the word cloud will be generated automatically.
That's cool.
Okay, but I'm going to use that one. And one thing I've learned from talking to Ben in the previous session was that, and I think it also counts as an engagement tool, it's when someone is speaking again, right? So we have this situation, a person is speaking, and we agreed that now it's her turn to talk, but then the other participants, and we know it's rude to interrupt each other, so we don't want to do that, and usually we are reluctant to do so. But what we could do is that as the person speaks, we could send the visual clues to that person, raising up a pre-drawn card, and we could use several templates. For example, a card with like boring,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like, yeah, keep it going, like a spot on. Yes, that's it. We need that, and so forth. And it can be anything on those cards. And what I like about it is that even if we don't send a very important signal there, just understanding that the signal can be sent will keep the other participators awake and focused, because they will be watching for those clues coming up, right?
So you
So
mean,
just as an idea.
yeah, so you mean they put the signs on their camera so they don't have to interrupt
Yeah,
with the voice. Yeah, the visual
exactly,
signs.
exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Yeah. We could maybe also use the background, like Zoom, you can change the background to whatever. So maybe you can, yeah, prepare like a few templates of the background with the message, like boring or yes or no. Yeah,
Oh,
immediately you can,
yeah.
yeah, the facilitator can see it very easily. I will draw.
Or even just colors, right? Like, for
Yeah,
example, just a simple color, red, green. So let's say if people start wearing out, they agree to just put their yellow backgrounds, all of them, and then you could quickly see on the gallery inside of the Zoom that everyone is turning yellow,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's more intuitive, right?
As a feedback mechanism. But you could also use a background just to during your lecturing, like, to set different moods, like basically a presentation. You talk about stuff, but then you just change your backgrounds. Yeah, could also work. All right, but I guess that concludes this part.